Hello and welcome, my name is Nancy and today I wanted to do my November wrap-up. This is day 2 of Bookmas and I just wanted to talk about all the books that I read in the month of November. November started off in a very good note. I was reading so quickly, I was reading quite a bit I felt like, and then suddenly nothing. I stopped reading entirely. That was fun. But I still wanted to talk about all the books that I read in the month of November. The first one I got around to reading was A Lady's Guide to Mischief and Mayhem by Amanda Collins. This one was such a fun little historical romance. From the get-go, obviously, you know, the main two characters who are kind of introduced are obviously going to have some kind of romance. It's a historical romance, so that's kind of expected. But anyway, so in 1886 we have Lady Catherine, who's known for her notorious newspaper columns where she talks about murder. And she ends up reporting this serial killer kind of a situation going on, and things are really raw. People are trying to understand what is going on, who the killer is, all that kind of stuff. On the flip side, we have a detective, Inspector Andrew, who is very serious. He does not like this newspaper columnist who is out to ruin his life. He kind of lost a position that was coveted for himself because Catherine came forward with an article. Something happens in which he loses his position. They all get invited to this party where the crimes continue to happen, and obviously we're trying to solve this murder mystery together and try to figure out who the killer is. It's really fun. I really enjoyed reading it. It was very entertaining, to say the least. I had a good time reading it. I would highly recommend it, to be honest. It's a romance with some steamy moments and a good murder mystery, and I really did enjoy it. I did end up giving this a 4 stars out of 5. I had a very good time reading it. Okay, Trouble in Paradise. I can't really find the other books that I did end up reading physically. Oh, I did not read it physically. That's why I can't find it. Oh, dumbass. Okay, anyway. Moving on. I did end up reading 2 volumes of Saga, so Saga Volume 1 and Volume 2 as well. I personally really enjoyed reading this. The artwork in Saga is just wowza. It is very adult, but it's actually super fun. I had a good time reading it. The story kind of falls around these 2 characters who are from very different opposing planets, so they absolutely are supposed to hate each other. This guy is taken prisoner into this girl's planet thingy. What ends up happening is they interact and end up falling in love. This kind of leads them to escape the planet together, and they have a child together. One of them has like wings and stuff, and the other one has horns, so they're like very different species almost. Once they reproduce and have a child, we have no idea what kind of child it's going to be because it could kind of be abnormal and we're not 100% sure what kind of child they have. There's a whole war that is ensuing because of this. People are trying to hunt them down. There are bounty hunters heading towards them, trying to get them to kill them, steal a child, all that kind of stuff. There is a ghost character involved in here that I personally really enjoyed seeing. I thought that character had so much potential and it was just really fun to read from them. I do have a reading vlog of this where I talked about it and how adult the pictures in here are. I did not expect it. People never really talked about it, but there's vivid sex scenes. There are some characters that are butt naked, and it is odd and interesting. It's just a fun story. I'm really looking forward to reading the rest of the series. Continuing on with my manga journey, I ended up reading Death Note volumes 1 and 2. I had such a grand time reading this as well. So Death Note essentially follows around this main character who ends up getting a book, which looks like a very plain old book. It actually belongs to Shinigami. Essentially, once you write a person's name in it and you know that person's face, they end up dying. We don't really put a specific reason for their death. They are going to die with a heart attack. This guy ends up getting this book and he is trying to eradicate the world of some bad people. So anyone who comes on the news who seem to be villains, he ends up killing them by writing their names on this book. Soon enough, though, people are trying to figure out what is going on, why are people dying, all of them with heart attacks, and it's very quick, especially once they come on the news and it's in the public eye, they tend to die. And usually all the deaths are kind of situated in around Japan, if I'm not wrong, and not anywhere else. So there are obviously crimes happening all around the world, but this is specifically more so happening in Japan itself. So the detectives are trying to figure out what is going on, and this boy is obviously trying his best to not get caught. So this is a situation, if I think like an anti-hero almost, like he wants to save the world, make it a better place for everybody, only have good citizens. But then his whole vision kind of changes because he wants to act like God himself, and he genuinely like tries so hard to get to a point where nobody finds him out. So he ends up killing like normal people. It's quite messed up. I did end up reading the first 2 volumes. I really enjoyed it. I would highly recommend you guys to pick this one up as well. It's just so good. I really had a good time. The next one is also a manga, and I read Fruits Basket Volume 1. Personally, did not like it. I know, okay, I felt like I was not reading the correct book because a lot of people keep saying how it is about this character who finds that these friends that she makes have like special abilities. I didn't really see anything happening. Honestly, the entire book was this girl just being like, oh my god, I don't belong, people hate me, I'm the worst, I should be lonely all the time, and she's just hating on herself so much. And that is pretty much the entire story. At least that's what I kind of got from it. She goes to this like house party, but then I felt like nothing really happened there. I don't know if I missed something or I just read over it. I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy the story or anything like that, but I've heard such lovely things about the series. So I'm willing to give it a chance, continue on with the rest of the series. I do have volume 2 from the library, so I'm hoping to give it another shot and just see how it goes from there. I personally did not like the first volume. It was not the best in my personal opinion, but that's okay. Moving on. Technically, this is the last book I did end up reading in the month of November. Is 6 Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim. I did talk about this book in the vlog that I was talking about earlier, and I personally really enjoyed this. This was such a fun book. I think I gave this like 4.5 stars. And I just really enjoyed the whole story and the premise and everything. We're following around this princess named Shiori, who seems like she is just very carefree. She wants to be free. She does not want to get married to this prince from like another land. She's just really devastated by the whole situation. She does not want to be involved in it. Essentially what happens is that she does have magical powers. She ended up creating these paper cranes, and one of them actually came to life, and that's like her friend. One day her magic kind of gets a little out of control, and her stepmother Raikama ends up finding out about this magical power. And we quickly learn that Raikama is also a sorceress and ends up kind of cursing Shiori. Shiori ends up having like a pot on top of her head. It looks like a hat, basically. That's how it was kind of described. People can't really tell who she is anymore. They can't tell that she's actually the lost princess. And because of that, she kind of gets exiled. There's another catch to her curse. She has 6 brothers who all turn into cranes, and if Shiori utters a single word or a single sound, one of them will end up dying. So by living with this curse, she is going into exile. She has to figure things out, try to kick the curse into the curb, and figure things out from there. It's just a whole lot of an adventure. I really enjoyed that whole aspect. Her trying to figure out who she is, like what is going on, how to not use her words and still communicate with people. I found it very entertaining. There's another character once she gets to a certain place. I think she's a princess. I really loved that character. I think her name is Megari? I forget, but I absolutely adored her character. I just thought she was super cute. I had a very, very good time reading this. I'm so excited to read the rest of the series. I was honestly so scared to finish the last few pages because I didn't want it to end. It was just really fun. I haven't felt like that about a fantasy in so long, and I'm so glad I picked it up. It's totally worth it. It's worth the hype. I will recommend this so many times. It was just really fun. Alright guys, those are all the books I read in the month of November. I am filming this on the 29th. I do technically have one more day to kind of finish reading a couple more books maybe, but I highly doubt it, to be fair. Never say never. It could potentially happen, but I just wanted to talk about all the books that I for sure read in the month of November. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books, if you enjoyed them and how you enjoyed them. I would really love to know. Also let me know what is your favorite book that you read in the month of November. I'm totally looking forward to that. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Ansu. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified every single time I upload a new video. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you all next time with another one. Until then, I'll talk to you in the comments. Bye!